everyone, and welcome to another episode of Studio Insights with the Belvista Studios team. We've got Kim here, Victoria, and myself, Hannah, and we are all learning designers. And what we do in this time is we learn from each other. So we ask each other questions. We reflect on what we've been working on in our e-learning studio so you can learn from what we're learning and what we're doing. Before we get into the episode, if you haven't gone to it already, we suggest that you check out our Creator Hub. There is a human-centered design online course on there that we recommend that shows exactly how we do our projects at Belvista Studios. It enables you to apply human-centered design to your projects, put your learners at the heart of your solution, and make an impact in what you deliver with your learning solutions. So check it out in the video notes below. But for now, let's get into this episode of Studio Insights. Kim, you can ask the first question.
Ooh. All right, mine is like I just came up with a fun thing for myself, really. So it's for both of you, and you basically have to complete the sentence. Okay, so there's a few of them. So it's just whatever first comes to mind. It's almost like a summary of many things.
Okay.
So complete the sentence. For work, it's all work related. For work, the one thing I can't live without is
my team.
Oh, love that. Look, my team is much nicer, but I was going to say my keyboard.
Oh, did you get a new one?
Yeah, how cool is it?
Oh, they are funky ones.
I love materialistic things.
But okay, I'll move on just because we could get derailed. Oh, well then, okay. Teamwork is the best it can be when
everyone communicates clearly.
Everyone respects each other.
time is well spent when I
plan tasks before I start them. I don't do it often, but
when I refer to my calendar.
I did have one on planning. That's why I'm trying to find it now. It's all good. Excursions for work help me
think outside the box.
Oh, I was going to say think about things differently, which is quite similar.
Studio Insights are
entertaining.
Good and bad. I think you.
A lesson I learned that I want you to learn from me rather than go through it for yourself is
don't ever trust what sorry. Are you going? Don't ever trust what a program says it will do. Actually test it.
Mine's hard because I feel like you have tried to learn it already, but don't ignore red flags in things you do.
Okay, well, I have one on that. Complete the sentence. Red flags.
Mean I should check in ASAP with someone else. Check in with myself and potentially someone else if I need to.
Yeah, red flags mean that something isn't right, potentially.
Taking the time to plan a task.
Ensures that you deliver what you're expected to.
Are you planning your answer? Or is that
Oh, there's a lot of things I could say. Will help, like will help stop you from missing things. Could be anything.
One-on-one catch-ups.
I can't think of my words. They're not popping in. I've got the start of mine, but I feel like they're valuable for maintaining like a good team dynamic.
One-on-one catch-ups add value if you plan for them.
That's a lesson learned for how many years of this? No.
Never run out.
Okay. Our team culture is
the best.
Amazing.
Aww. The most useful resource to you on the Creator Hub, and why?
Can I look at them to refresh my memory really quick? Oh, no, I think I know. Oh, but mine's probably accessibility tips, the alt-tabbing tips, because I use that the most so far in what I'm doing in my role in development.
Mine is the storyboard template because I can't live without it when I do instructional design. Like it's necessary.
Yeah. Brainstorming for instructional design or development tasks.
Is good to do as a team instead of by yourself.
Is important to do to ensure that you deliver something amazing, because otherwise you can just do oh, I can't keep going. That's it. It's critical.
My tip for someone starting out in instructional design is
watch our YouTube channel videos and download everything on the Create Hub.
I think join our human-centered design cohort to learn about, that might be a bit, maybe. I feel like do Victoria's first, watch the YouTube, and then move on to the cohort to learn about instructional design and our process. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. And that was an ad. Go check it out now.
There's someone here. I just have to, they're checking the fire alarms. I'll be back.
All right. We'll keep going, Hannah. My tip for someone looking to advance their ID skills.
I would say read action mapping and the human-centered design cohort as well, because it enables you to have an epic process that makes a difference. So you can upper level your process.
Something I want to try is
using AI to create course design elements.
The things we share on social media
will always add value to you because we follow a strict process to ensure that whatever we're putting out will actually make an impact on your life. And I know that because I have to follow the process and it's very specific.
I love that. Our human-centered design cohort is
Life-changing.
Not you that just says that either.
Mm.
Think of your favorite project you've worked on in the last couple of, like, maybe 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah.
Why was it your favorite?
I think the design was beautiful. So it was like simple but effective. So it wasn't overwhelming. And it was like very human-centered. So there was like a lot of content and things to consider, but the way that we created and like delivered that content was like very specific to the audience and the topic.
Oh. Now I want to know which one it was. Okay. Last three. My proudest moment is.
Oh. That's a hard one.
Because there's so many to choose from.
I know. Yeah. I actually think it was like when we finished the conference that we did. Because we put like so much effort and so much of ourselves into that and worked really, really hard. And it was like such a big event that when it was done, I was like, oh my gosh, like that was insane. Like so cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to
2023. So we can like take our projects next level, because I feel like we've learned so much this year. So I'm like really excited to see like how all those learnings play out in our projects for next year.
Cute. Belvista Studios is
the greatest company in the world.
Yes!
Woo!
We made it. That's so cute. All right, that's me done. If Vic comes, I will ask those last three of her. But
Okay.
that was my experience.
I loved that. That was so good. Thank you for that. It was good reflection. Good reflection activity.
Yeah, nice. Well, I encourage people that like to do that for themselves, just as a reflection. Like, I think it is good to do that, to give yourselves the time and use some of that stuff as like stimulus. I could have gone on for ages with the like things that I was thinking, but yeah. Anyway,
that was really good.
Vic might not make it back, she said, so let's.
Okay.
Can you get your question? Hopefully it wasn't for her. Oh, she has a question.
There's a question for us.
Fuck off, Vic. Yeah, she.
Oh. Well, what are you most proud of this
what
year?
Are we most
Kim?
proud of this year? Business-wise or life?
I don't know.
Both. Oh God. Okay. Hannah, you got to think of like your personal one as well then. So Vic's asked a question through the chat for everyone listening what's going on. She's got fire alarms being tested where she is. So what are we most proud of this year from a personal and a professional perspective? Vic, how deep do you want us to go? I could be here for fucking years with me reflectiveness.
I think for me,
yeah,
I think my personal one is like progress at the gym. I feel like I've come a very long way at the gym, and I can lift a lot heavier and do a lot more than what I used to. And I'm very proud of like getting over that mental barrier of like, I can never do that, and now I can. That's mine.
I think you should go into that mental barrier to help people crack it for themselves.
All right. Well, I guess I just saw myself as like, I sort of labeled myself as something, which was like, I'll never be strong. I'll always be like maybe I'll be good at running, but like I'm quite like weak compared to others. Like I always had that view of myself in terms of like physical weakness. But I just like, I was out of my comfort zone a lot of the time. So I think you just have to like put yourself out of your comfort zone and be okay with like people, like try not to worry about people judging you or thinking like, if you can't do that, that's embarrassing. Like I just had to get over that. And it felt uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And then one day you can do it. So I think that's the main thing. Just like you have to be okay with being outside of your comfort zone. That's been like the biggest thing for me.
That's quite cool. Proudest moment in work for me is, I think, through my ways of creating experiences for us as a team and how we do things, and that has enabled both of you to believe in yourselves to the best that you ever have. And you believe it in yourselves, as in like, I for the longest time have already believed in you, but you had a lot of like, or there was times when you had like self-doubt, or you questioned things, or you didn't trust yourself. And I think I was like not willing to accept that anymore, because I could truly see what I believed in you, and that I created certain circumstances for you to be able to experience and get that self-belief yourselves. And I feel like that has really unlocked in the last couple of months, and we're now all reaping the benefits from that. And I think that's my proudest moment, because you guys have stepped into your true selves and owning things. You're proud of yourselves. You see the value that you contribute. You take your initiative. It's all just your existence naturally now. And yes, like there's going to be new things as we progress and learn and all that sort of stuff. But I feel like we're in a really nice place where we're kind of coasting in all of the rewards that we've been working for, that we've been working on, towards, trying, experimenting. And for that to happen, and for us to be in the state that we are as like a team, and the work that we're producing and how things operate within the business, like I just think that's really cool. I'm proud of that from a business perspective.
That's amazing. Good on us. Yeah. Good on you, Vic. You can't respond, but
you said I love that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's mine. Vic, you gotta start typing yours, because people will want to know your proudest moment. My personal one is, how do I word this? I have unlocked the best version of myself. And sorry, I'm distracted by Vic's chat. Yeah, you're right. It was your question, so you don't have to answer. Okay, my proudest moment for myself is I've unlocked the best version of myself and the best version of my life ever. And if it existed like this for the rest of my existence, it would be incredible. It is incredible. So like when people talk about like what success is, what I want, my ultimate life, I have that now. Like it is in my every fucking day, every hour. And I think that's incredible. And just for like, if I sum it up, it's taken me 10 years from zero to get here. I will let people know that. And so the 10 years of like zero is like, my point of zero was I didn't know about personal development. I wasn't really self-aware back then. So I'm coming from that point of zero. It took me 10 years. So if you're coming from a point of zero, like think about what it is that you want in 10 years and start working towards it now. But if you know, back then I didn't really know about podcasts. I didn't know about personal development, coaching, mentoring, learning, all of that sort of stuff. But once I got awareness to that unlocked it. And now I just know that that's accessible to me, so I can unlock things way quicker. So my overnight success has landed 10 years on. And that is this year. And for me, what that looks like is that I have an abundance of money, or I earn an abundance of money. I have an abundance of time to exist in a day-to-day that is extremely fulfilling with exponential joy. And I like purposely like I positively impact the world by just being authentically me, and I continue to move to the rhythm of my intuition, and that is my every fucking day. And like I am in a constant state of bliss with that existence. So I am proud that all of the things that I have continually fucked up, not been proud of, wanted to get better at, and basically put in the work and prioritized getting to the best version of myself and getting to the ultimate life, I am rewarded and existing in that. And I'm like so young to have achieved that. So that's my proudest moment.
Whoa.
I thought you were frozen there. I was like, oh my God.
No, I'm just like, that deserves silence because it was so incredible. I'm like, whoa. That's so cool. Victoria said that's lit. For the audience, if you want to know.
You're welcome.
That's incredible.
Thanks
you can just hear like, you can hear the emotion in your voice as well, like that you're like 100% speaking your truth, and you can feel everything that you're explaining. So that like really hit me as well. That was cool. Thanks for sharing. I think that's very like good inspiration for everyone to know that it's possible. Like you can live your ultimate life. And you've already done it. Like so many people like, oh, in like a year's time, I'm going to live my ultimate life, or like in 20 years when I have this or I have that. But you've like created it now. What would be your advice for people who feel like they don't have access to it now? Do you think sometimes people need to wait a time period, or do you just need to like adjust your mindset around what's important? Like, I don't know. How do I explain it? I actually heard on that, so that podcast we're listening to, Kim, with Georgie Stevenson, she says like it's not about Rise and Conquer. Yep. Yes. She was saying like it's not about your external world, it's about which will be interesting to hear your advice on this. It's not about the external world, but it's about the internal. So once you learn to like master your internal mind and how you like see the world, that's where true happiness comes from. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's like go with the heart, not the head. Come from a place of love, not fear. It is fucking honestly everything that we talk about on here. Like we've already shared it. I think the difference for people is, do you take action on it or not? Like if I do something and I'm like, didn't like that, I'm like, okay, don't let it happen again. Or that was harder than it needed to be. Okay, how can I make it easier for next time? Like I'm immediately prioritizing that at the most easy, accessible time to do that for myself. I don't feel right about something. Something's not right. Okay, what is not right now? Like I need it to be better. Like what is that? You know, like, and I'm prioritizing the time to figure it out. I have a funny feeling in my stomach. I don't feel right about what I just said. Like I'm prioritizing the pause to execute for the better. And I think it's that prioritizing the pause to execute for the better is what has enabled me to do it. Like people laugh about like Instagram quotes and all that sort of stuff, but it's like they fucking work. Like they are available to us. Like if that sounds good, fucking get it in your life. If that doesn't sound good or you don't like it, get it out of your life. It's honestly that simple. It's taking action on it. Choose how you respond.
Yeah.
It's everything. I'm just a living example of everything we always talk about. I just take action on it.
So take action and plan as well, would you say? Like live life. Like, so I'm thinking of an example. Say someone wants to live like right on the ocean. Like that is their ultimate happiness. They've got to be like a house right on the ocean. If they can't afford that, like would your solution be to plan like how might I get to that in the future? Or would it be to like, maybe if I just go to the beach every day, I can get that same feeling and figure out like why it's the beach that you want to be near and how you may get that now. That's sort of where
I don't think you really need to go to that level. Like, honestly, in terms of like, if people are into manifesting and that, like, people just say, visualize a view at the beach that you want, all of that. The rest will play out. And I think the example for me is that sentence that I said, like, I earn abundance of money, I have an abundance of time. I literally, before I get out of bed, like, say every single sentence and feel every part of it. And from day one of doing that, which was only recently because I've only unlocked that as the sentence, from day one, I was rewarded. I didn't know what earn an abundance of money. And abundance of money is very different for the three of us and anyone listening. It could be $10 per hour, it could be $50 per hour, it could be $500 per hour. It doesn't matter. Abundance of money is, for me, when petrol prices are really expensive, I don't even look because I'm just like, I'm fucking going on an adventure, you know? So that's like, it's my own definition of those things. But I think you just got to be, you got to tap into your values and know that this is important to me. And if I sent that like sentence to you guys, but I'll just say it to everyone else. Hold on. I did it in a post the other day, actually. I completed this sentence for myself. I'm just looking for it.
Vic's back.
Jesus Christ, that gave me a friend. Of all the scary conversations we've just had before this recording, I was like, oh my God, now it's happening. Okay. Step 1, complete this sentence. Imagine if something you want to receive, what it will enable you to have when you have it, and what you will do in exchange for it. So that's my sentence. That's how I've done it. You might reorder how you do it. And then step 2 is to visualize it every day. That is, and it all comes from when I say, what were you interested in as a little kid? Like all those things, like that's exponential joy, like day to day that is so fucking cool. Like that is my thing. And if you just hone into that, check in with it every day, basically what it means is I show up as the person that I want to be. I make decisions that enable me to have a fun day or an exponentially fucking day-to-day existence. If I'm very specific to my language. Yeah.
That's so cool. Thank you for sharing.
You got to feel it energetically. All good.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand that feeling thing now.
Do you want to explain that to people?
I think it's like you can say that you want something and say that you're going to get it, but like it's so hard to explain because it is a feeling. But I've like noticed the difference between like a goal I'm trying to obtain at the moment. In the past, I thought I wanted it and I thought I knew I was going to get it. The feeling I have now is so different. Like I feel like I am definitely going to get it. And it's like more of like an excited, like light feeling about it. And I actually don't know how I got to that stage. I don't know if it was time or whatever, but there's a definite difference. I don't know if that's helpful for people because it's very hard to explain.
That's cool.
Maybe it is just timing for things in life as well. Like things are right for you at different times and your body can like express that feeling to you when it is the right time.
And how I would kind of my framing on that is it actually the thing that you want or is it the perceived thing that you want? Do you want it because you're at a certain time in your life, because other people have it, because people perceive you a certain way if you do have it? So therefore you're in your head, right? But if you tap into your heart and you go, what is it that I truly want? Even the fact that you're just questioning, is this something I want or is this because it's my upbringing that makes me think that that's something that I want? That's when I think the energy changes around it. And then you know that it's right for you on your terms, as opposed to, I think I should have like, I don't know. I don't know why this example came to my mind, but I should have this amount of superannuation in my bank account because That's what the internet says. The Australian government says by this age, you should have this in there. But I'm like, fuck that. No, like what I want right now, I don't even know if I want superannuation, because maybe I'm going to, which is basically money for retirement for people outside of Australia. But like maybe I don't need to worry about that because I'm, I don't know, going to not exist before I reach that. Or I just know that things are going to play out a different way, and what I need to support me in retirement will be funded a different way.
Yeah, you just explained it perfectly. It's heart versus mind. That's what I was trying to say. It feels very different when it's in the heart. And maybe if like everyone, a way you can figure it out is like if there's a time that like you've loved something a lot, or now, like compare it to that and be like, I remember that feeling. Like it might be like a love you had for a dog, or a love you had for an ex-partner, or something like that, and you'll like remember the feeling that it gave you in your heart. And it's like that same feeling that happens when you're thinking about like manifesting something. For me, it's like the same feeling.
That's cool.
Oh, good question, Vic. That really we really delved deeply into a few things there.
How's everyone for time? I feel like, because we're supposed to end the recording now, do we have time to keep going?
I'm good to keep going.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Me too.
Okay, cool. All right.
Because we probably could go deeper on that, but we'll allow the space for someone else to ask the question.
We can just skip my question and go deeper if you want.
No. I want to go back as well and ask Vic my last 3 things. So
yeah, do that then.
All right, and then we'll do yours. Vic, last 3 that you... Hannah answered some other ones, but what's your proudest moment this year?
Probably taking on like the project manager role for the first time properly, and not feeling like I was failing at it.
How would you describe that you were actually feeling?
It's just hanging on by a thread.
Just confident.
It's me. I'm like, everyone's fucking brilliant. They've stepped into their own, and then Vic's like,
hanging on by.
No, I felt like confident in what I was doing. I felt like I didn't have as much self-doubt as I started with and thought I would feel for like longer. And yeah, it didn't like stress me out, because I was really I felt really nervous in the lead up to it and thinking about having to do it. But once I actually got into it, it wasn't like, it didn't keep me up at night, or like I didn't feel like sick to work, which is sometimes the feeling I'll get if there's something I think about that I'm really worried about doing.
Like Studio Insights. Everyone's very privileged that you continue to show up to this, so people need to reflect on that.
I don't have a choice.
That's how they stepped into their self-belief. I was like, I'm fucking sick of you guys not having self-belief in yourselves. You don't have a choice anymore. No, okay, so sorry, I'll go back to as well. Mine were complete the sentence. We did so 2 more. Complete the sentence. I look forward to
just next year in general, things that are coming up.
Okay. Last one, Belvista Studios is...
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Thank you for...
Best company I've worked for before.
Oh, it was close to mine.
Oh, really?
No, Hannah's was the best company in the whole world ever to existed, ever to exist, the future of all time. You're like, yeah, best job I've ever had. Just my second job in life, but...
I mean, for all I know, there could be better companies to work for. I'm not sure. But it's the best one I've worked for.
Okay, so Hannah, I think it's time for your question. Moving on.
All right. Well, my question is for both of you, but I'm going to ask you one at a time because it's sort of got 2 parts.
Okay.
Kim, I'll go with you first.
Mm.
I would like to know, out of everything that you learned in 2022, what has added the most value to your life as a learning designer and why?
As a learning designer, so we've got our human-centered design kind of method, framework, toolkit, whatever that we do as instructional designers, right? And I honestly, I'm just like, this is the thing. Like, it is so fucking good. Every single time it produces the best solutions. The feedback is the best. It's the most impactful. My life as an ID is made way easier when I use it and I stick to it. When I see you guys putting aspects into it from our project, Hannah, when you do storyboards that are focused when we're using our process every single time, it is just precision, perfect, beautiful results. Of course, I can get into my head sometimes and be like, is it that good? Why are the cohort enrollments not blowing up? Why is not everyone choosing that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that why would you not want this as your development sort of thing? And then I go, what is our process? Great. when literally I've just been like, that's the best fucking process ever. We've delivered the best project, right? When we use it every fucking time, without doubt, it is so good.
Yeah.
So I put myself in a position where I think this is a very vulnerable position to really challenge that for myself, which was to go to a 2-day session with a client. So they wanted their learning designers to be trained in our stuff and just instructional design training in general, right? There was 13 people. And I said, right. So it was 2 4-hour workshops, 2 weeks apart. And my thing was, Kim, you must not prepare in any way for this and purely just go and prove that if you can really own and step into our HCD process, that you will be able to show up without any preparation and deal with anything that comes up in that time and from anything that comes from those 13 people. And it will add value to every single one of their lives and that organization. So I think that's pretty vulnerable. That's the biggest challenge I could possibly think of at this point, to put myself in, to prove that this human-centered design stuff really, 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 really works in any single situation that I could possibly put myself into. So I went, did that, and basically just did whatever we kind of talk about in terms of be curious, seek to understand. These are the 5 questions in a creative conversation you only need to ask. I did that. I was able to solve their problem. I was able to basically go through, like, revolutionize their learning design process, make them have multiple epiphanies, make them reignite their passion for the industry, make them redesign a 7-day training event that they have that is more impactful, answer their questions on the spot around accessibility. We did return on investment, we did adult learning, we did action mapping, we did human-centered design, we did user interviews, we did so many things, and I had no idea what was going to come up. And the feedback that we got from them was brilliant. I couldn't have asked for it to be better, in my opinion. But for me to go and leave that then and just go, holy fucking shit, I had an impact on their lives in that way by just showing up and being authentically me and trusting our process and our human-centered design stuff, and to have that impact, that is phenomenal. So that is the whatever your question was, that's the journey and that's the outcome. That's the proudest moment. That's the proof of my belief and the application of everything that we preach and we exist in. And it needs to, I will never doubt myself again now, regardless of sales or anything, as long as I stick to the process that I know works every single time. It has exponential results beyond what I could have imagined for every single time and every single circumstance.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh my gosh. That was incredible. All right, thank you. That was like, oh, so good. My second part to the question, which I think you've sort of said it, is like how might others achieve it? And I'm thinking like it would be our human-centered design learning opportunities, right?
Just
like
come into the cohort.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get into the cohort, join the cohort. I am there holding your hand, coaching you. You are getting it for yourself. Yeah. You just got to be in the cohort.
All right, we'll check out in the description below. Anyone who's interested in the cohort, you can hear the passion in Kim's voice as she talks about like how much of an impact it's had on her life and our life as a team. So get onto it.
Can I just ask, why was your reaction the way that it was?
My reaction? I could just like feel your energy. Like it was like such incredible energy of like how much it's impacted your life and like the trust that you have in the process and how proud you are. So for me, I'm almost like speechless because I'm like, oh my gosh, like that, like it's hard to know how to even respond to that because like what you said was so incredible. I don't know how else to describe it. What about you, Vic? What was your response to what Kim said? Because I feel like you had a similar look of like, whoa, on your face.
I think it's just like, I love like seeing someone have so much passion for something and like believe so strongly in what they're doing, selling, living by, basically. Like that process is what the company business runs off, basically. Like that's how we make our courses. It's how we do everything. So yeah, I feel like it's just like cool to see that passion and like faith in yourself. And like the fact that you've accepted that now as well, like you were having those doubts. And then just through that one experience, you're like, no, we're set. Like nothing needs to change. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't know how to like put it fully into words, but yeah, it's cool that you've overcome that doubt because it doesn't, you're right, like the enrollments and that, yeah, we expect more, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Like,
yeah,
we know it works. We use it every day. We're surviving as a company like because of that process. So really there shouldn't have been any doubt anyway, but it's like good that you had that happen at least to like reaffirm it, I guess, and know that that's what we're sticking with.
Yeah. And honestly, sorry, it wasn't even doubt. It was more just like, well, I'm always kind of thinking, is there something we can tweak for an more effective, more efficiency? So I'm kind of revisiting like always continuous improvement. So it was more from that perspective. I was like, should it tweak? Does it need to adapt? We've been doing it this way for a couple of years. So it was more that sort of perspective. And I just wanted to prove it in a very unpredictable situation. And it's always unpredictable anyway, because every single cohort, when people come in, I'm literally showing up to the group coaching with however many people happen to be in that group setting, where they're coming literally just going, these are my problems, help me solve it. And I'm literally just applying our human-centered thing to them. And every single time someone says, this is life-changing. And it's not like a linear, like plug and play. It's they're finding their own self-belief, their own process. They're getting more cemented around what their own instructional design framework looks like, the activities, the confidence to have conversations. So I just think it really is, yeah, it's perfect. Anyway, yeah, I do fucking believe in it, and it just, I know that it works in every single thing that could possibly happen in my life. I will be able to respond because of it.
It's incredible. I feel it as well. Like when I'm working on projects now, like sometimes I'll message you two and be like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. And it takes a lot. Like I am a perfectionist, so it takes a lot for me to be like, this is like really good, this work or whatever. But whenever I follow our process, like the information mapping, doing the user personas, empathy mapping, like creating the storyboard with a human-centered design approach, I always feel like so proud at the end of it, because I'm like, I just know that like what we've done works, and like you can see it, like you've worked on something and you know whether you've delivered something at a high quality or not. And I feel it with my tasks. So
Cool.
So cool. All right. Well, that was amazing. Victoria, do you remember what the question was? Or do you want me to ask you again?
Ask it again.
I don't follow up that.
Yeah, good luck beating that. Top that.
Is that about that?
Yeah, it is. Okay, Victoria, are you ready?
Yeah.
Out of everything you learned in 2022, what has added the most value to your life as a learning designer, and why?
I think it probably would tie into the project management side of things. I don't know what specifically, but I guess like that role as a whole, I'd only kind of been like exposed to different parts of it previously. Like I was never fully in that position. So I think like the bulk of my learning this year has been related to taking on that role and learning the different parts of it. And I think it's useful, like it was useful for me to learn that just in general as like upskilling, but like as a learning designer, normally I guess I'm on like the other side of it, where I'm the one being given the bits, like the tasks to do by a project manager. So I think it was good to see it from the other side and like get an understand, like it was useful having the learning designer experience as the PM to know, like, I don't know, when you're running tasks or sending emails, like what kind of information to give them so that they know what to do. There's obviously like a lot more involved in it than that, but just as an example, like it's useful having more of both lenses now is useful roles. Yeah, I think that's why it was, I can't even remember the question again. That's why
it's like the skill
to why that was useful, like why it was good. I learned that.
Yeah, I think I understand. I think you're saying like you like originally were in, like you had your head in the learning designer tasks, but being able to like pull back and see the project from a higher level and see what goes into like each of those tasks and how like learning design works as a full project added value to you.
Yeah, I think just seeing
it's empathy
helps me moving forward. Which I think will improve, and hopefully has improved, like my communication in general to anyone in any role, to clients, like I just think learning that more parts of that role has like increased other skills that I use in other roles, and vice versa. Yeah. Whereas previously I might have been like if you guys sent me something, I might like question like, why are they telling me to do that, or like why did they give me this? But it is definitely empathy. Like I empathize with you guys as PMs now, and will moving forward. You see a bit more of why things might be the way that they are.
Yeah. That's so good. And how might others achieve that? So people that are listening, how might they like achieve the project management skills that you have?
Or just even empathy, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess where it's possible, like if you do have the opportunity to try different roles like that, or take on different roles in different projects, that's probably like the quickest and easiest way, I would say. Like literally put yourself in the shoes of the other person. But if you don't have access to that, I think it would be probably kind of like what we do with Studio Insights, like, which again, I know it might be an access thing, but if there's someone in that role and you would understand them better, like talk to them, ask them more questions, ask what you can do better for them. Hopefully they'll reciprocate and see like what they can do better for you. And I think just like having those conversations would give more insight if you can't actually do it yourself. That's the only thing coming to mind. There's probably other ways you could do it, but
I like that.
Or talk to someone who does do it and get what you can from them.
Yeah. Even like thinking
or on
about
the
like,
receiving end.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go, Hannah, you go.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, if it's not someone you can learn from, it's someone on the receiving end of your thing. Because like a few episodes ago, like, or multiple though as well, Vic, you kept saying, what can I do better as a project manager for you when I'm handing over tasks? What do you need from me? So you were seeking to understand the receiver of your stuff. That's how you built that empathy. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I think it's good too, because I feel like our team does that naturally a lot of the time anyway. Like if we send big handovers or I don't know, have any like big things of communication, like there always seems to be a chance for us to check in after, whether it's during like our team catch-ups, during our one-on-one catch-ups, to like where you can ask for feedback or just like check in and be like, were you missing anything in that or not? Like we do, I feel like we have just done that naturally because we know that it helps us be better and like do better. So I feel like as long as you're getting feedback, as long as you're making like the space to get feedback or give feedback regularly, it should just kind of happen through that. Yeah. No matter what role you like, no matter which role.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Hannah, a few minutes ago?
It's similar to what you both said, but I'm just thinking like a question you could ask, like if you have meetings with people throughout the year, it could be like external stakeholders, could be internal teammates, just to have like a question that you ask in each of those meetings. So it could be like, how might I serve you better? Or how might I make your life easier? And if you set a goal to like ask that question every time you meet with someone, like it'd be interesting, like the feedback you get, and that should enable you to empathize a bit more.
Yeah.
Love that.
Very good. Is there anything else on that anyone would like to add? Well, thanks for that, Vic. That was very good, very insightful. And well done, you are smashing project management. Look, I'm not going to judge the two of you and say who was best because that's just not right, but
we'll let the audience. We'll either have more downloads of our project management stuff on the Creator Hub and watching those videos, or we'll have excessive people in the cohort doing our human-centered design stuff. You guys be the voters with your credit cards.
Oh, it's funny. All right, well, thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of Studio Insights. We hope you gained value from it. It was a good one, I think, because it was sort of like a wrap up of everything, well, like the most important things that we've learned over the last year. So yeah, take note.
The funny thing is, I feel like we're recording this now, but we have like a backlog of videos to go. So I'll probably be like June 2023 by the time it comes out. Maybe prioritize this one earlier.
That's what I was thinking. I'm going to edit this one first, I think, so people can like look back on 2022 and then I'm like,
go back to the video before. And they're like, no, it's all good. You don't just fucking reset goals and reflect once a year, people. That's like the power. I do it every fucking Monday at a minimum.
Yeah. When do you do it?
Go on it. End it. You're so terrible at like having face-offs against people.
All right, Vic, when do you do it? And then we'll end.
Mine's not like a set thing. I would say it's every few months though, but it's not and also like it can change depending on when I like feel like I need to, because I'm pretty like familiar with my goals anyway, so I always kind of know where I'm like, I do check-ins regularly with myself anyway to know where I'm at, but if I'm particularly happy or particularly miserable, then I'll prioritize it and see what else.
I love that. That's good. I'm the same. I rely on like feelings. If I feel like things aren't feeling right, then I check in and do something about it.
But I won't lie, I do still love like a end of year, start of new year refresh as well.
I feel that.
And They're not like New Year's resolutions because I do stick to them.
All right.
Okay, end the video.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you for our next episode of Studio Insights.
What's up, awesome human? Thank you on behalf of myself and the Belvista Studios team for continuously choosing to learn with us. We really appreciate it. If the tips and the insights and the context resonate with you and you want to take your skills to the next level, or you want to make your life way easier, you will love our Creator Hub. The Creator Hub is a place for people like you and us. Basically, it's the stuff that we use internally at Belvista Studios, and then we just share it publicly with you. The Creator Hub is created by instructional designers for instructional designers, and what you'll love there at the moment is we've got a quiz, Could I Be a Better Instructional Designer, that has so much tips in the feedback if you're interested in human-centered design or just taking your skills to the next level in terms of the solutions you're creating and the problems you want to solve. But in there as well, aren't we cute? That's us. But we've got the coaching courses, freebies, give us gratitude, and also we've got some templates. And basically they're always around the lens of learning experience design, instructional design, and e-learning. So a human-centered design focus is very much what we're about at Belvista Studios. So putting your learners at the heart of a solution and creating something for their needs. So there's the human-centered design stuff, and then we've also got the business stuff. So this is the stuff they don't teach you about when you want to become a freelancer or a consultant in the instructional design world. So go check it out. The link is in the description. You can check out everything that is available for you. Thank you for choosing to learn with us. Continuously invest in your skills. You will be rewarded as an instructional designer. Share this stuff, share it with other people, because when we are better instructional designers, we create better solutions that create better humans, that create a better world. So we have a very important role, and I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Have an awesome day.